All right. Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. Hang on. Let me get that deck out of the way. Okay. So let's get into this, shall we? So this is going to be a collective message. We will see where this one takes us. This is not zodiac specific. Later on this evening, I will be back to do zodiacs, but for right now, I'm just going to do this collective, and then I'll also release a today's topic video since I got us off track yesterday. So let's get us back on track. We have a Four of Swords. Okay. First message out. Hey, hey, AC, great to see you. But first message out today is of somebody needing to heal. We've got maybe somebody at home, cuddled up in bed, maybe getting a little extra much needed rest. It's a day for coziness. It's a time for some added healing. We do have a feminine resting here, and we've got these little candles lit. And there's 6 candles, by the way. I don't know if someone is like praying for somebody else. You know, they say, I'm not religious, but I just kind of have my own concept of things. But when I was once upon a time at the Notre Dame Cathedral in France, it was really cool because I had actually never read this before. But you know, when you can pay to buy a candle and light it, so of course I did because I always like to participate anytime I am visiting a culture or participating in something like that. But they said that the reason you light a candle is because the smoke carries your prayers up higher so that the creator can hear them better. And I thought that's a pretty concept. I liked that. I thought that was nice. But I'm almost feeling like whether this is other individuals hoping the best or sending their prayers and their good vibes toward an individual who's healing, or whether this is just a person who has been mentally thinking, I hope that the universe hears my prayers and helps me to heal from this. Public service announcement: don't light candles and go to sleep. You don't want to burn down your house. But that's just a side note. We have the Five of Swords. Yeah, it's definitely time, and Hermit, it's definitely time for somebody to, and she could even be saying like, Lord, help me let go of the daggers in my heart. Help me let go of the vinegar that I've been carrying. This is the time to let it go. We have the serpent wrapped around this Five of Swords, and we got the bones and skulls laying around. So we know that whatever happened already happened. And if she's trying to heal from the vinegar that it left her feeling, and that kind of like loneliness, I almost feel like anger and wounded energy is just kind of like seeping out of somebody today. And I think it's being replaced with like a philosophical concept of what occurred. This is all because I think a character is choosing a higher path. And that is hard to do when we've been hurt, when we have every right to be angry, we have every right to feel bitter. But it seems like we have a feminine, maybe she's taking a personal day, maybe she's resting. I don't read for genders typically, unless it's one that I call a highly specific message, and then I'll go completely with what we see. But this could be a masculine or a feminine, but they are really, I feel like this is somebody who's really letting themselves heal. They want to heal. They are saying, I don't want to carry anger in my heart. It's not good for me. And I don't want to keep even like the hostility. I don't want to be triggered by something if I think about it anymore. So let me consider it from a different perspective. I'm going to go ahead and I'm really going to, contemplate my guides. What are my guides trying to show me about this? Look at that. We got the Three of Swords in the reverse. The guides are totally saying, baby, you got it. You're on the right path. You are absolutely on the right path because you want to not feel this hurt anymore, because you want to let it go, because you want to shed the past and not be burdened by it anymore. You will heal. It's sometimes we give ourselves lip service and we're like, oh, I just wish that I didn't feel this way. I wish that hurt would go away. But it's not the same as saying, I want to heal from this so that it no longer impacts me. This is somebody who's like taking control of just their own actions and reactions. And really, truly at the foundational level, they want to move beyond what happens. And I think because we have this guide who's right here, and because our character is listening to their higher self, that's what the lantern is all about. The guide is saying, you're doing great. You're on the right path. You will very soon, like very, very soon, like possibly within the next 72 hours, this pain is going to be over. This is a pretty exciting story. Hi, everyone. So great to see you guys. Thanks so much for being here, everybody. We have got a Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is, this is, by the way, this is a collective message, Cafe Dream, so it does not have to be about a Virgo. We have Virgo energy here, but on the collective messages, it's not specific to zodiacs. We got a lot of air energy also, so Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. But the big message here is just, we have a character that is in their head, using their intellect now and their kind of like philosophical mind, and listening to like that internal voice. So it's just somebody who's on a journey. They could be any zodiac. They're just operating from this like determined head and heart space. I said somewhere in the next 72 hours. Damn, maybe in the next 3 hours. This looks way faster than that. We've got that Knight of Swords coming in on a peregrine falcon. Big changes, sudden changes here. It started out with somebody who's been doing some healing for a period of time, but this might be their last, maybe they were assuming, I need to keep focusing on healing. And instead, maybe they wake up from a 20-minute cat nap this afternoon and they're like, damn, it's over. I'm over it. Like, I haven't felt this light in 4 years. How is it that I suddenly cast off the final bit of what I was carrying? Because they're at the end of the hermit's journey. They're at the very end of it. Really awesome. We have the Judgment. I don't like to say that, we can't get over something unless we forgive the person that hurt us. I personally feel like moving on and forgiving ourselves for the way we felt or for what happened to us, because ultimately we have to protect ourselves sometimes, and forgiving ourselves and saying, you know what, I'm sorry that happened to you, self. I'm sorry you went through that. You know what? You deserved better. And, from here on out, we're going to advocate for better for ourselves. Personally, that's the way I prefer to see it, just because I'm not a big fan. And this is me being a very small, petty person. And I am petty Betty oftentimes. But I don't really think I have the capacity to forgive certain things. I'm like, yeah, no, I can move on, but trust me, it happened. And I'm not going to say, oh, but I forgive them. I'm not trying to be a better person. I'm just trying to be who I actually am and be honest with myself. If I had to gag out of my mouth words that I don't really feel, it's not going to be sincere. So I'm just going to say what I have recognized is that some things that are unforgivable, what I can do is forgive my own self for having gone through it, and, forgive myself for however long it took me to get over it. But I don't feel like I need to think anymore about the person or the situation. I feel like I can just forget about that and move on and care more about like how I progress. Again, not saying anybody should listen to me. I am a very flawed human, but I'm interpreting that card specifically because I'm not about to try to tell a story where I'm like, oh, see, all they had to do was forgive the person who hurt them. Screw that. Move on, though. Move on for sure. And go live the best life ever, and don't ever look back at the past. That I can totally get behind. So yes, you're hearing my interpretation on this, but it's because I would not like to see a character who went through this much pain, and then the big wind up is they just had to be the one who got wounded, and they had to be the one who had to learn how to forgive. I'm like, this kind of like victim blaming to me, and I don't like it. We got a 10 of Swords. We got a 9 of Wands. Okay, so with the 10 of Swords and the 9 of Wands, it is not only is this character like forgiving themselves and feeling revived, but they're also giving themselves a little pat on the back and saying, I'm okay now. And damn, I'm a warrior. Damn, I got a booty that is banging. Like, she got a great physique. This is somebody who's got like they're recognizing that they came through hell and back, and they're recognizing that they are indeed a warrior. This is not somebody who's a ferocious, like, now I'm angry and I'm a fighter and I'm this and that. It's more just somebody who says, wow, I'm super resilient. That's an amazing trait I didn't know about myself. I was resilient enough to get through this. Okay, you know what? I can handle myself, can't I? I can get through a lot. This is more of a story where somebody is getting over a very profound hurt and pain, and they really have bounced back, and they learned something about themselves in the process, about their resilience and their strength. We have the Sun card, we have the Five of Wands. So now it's like, what's next? What's next is, oh man, I think our character's mind is just so busy. I think that they're finding all kinds of ideas of what they want to do next that's going to bring them joy. You notice how we've shifted from, I have to be in a kind of a quiet, dark space for healing, the Twilight vibe, to I am healed, to I can celebrate being healed, to oh my God, I'm alive and I have a whole life to live and I get to pick all these wonderful things that I want to do. So our character's mindset has totally shifted from the Twilight, the healing, to the I'm empowered and I choose joy. What brings me joy? All kinds of things bring me joy. Denise said, thank you, love. You're so sweet. Thank you. You're so incredibly generous. We have the moon. Okay, so our character's going to have to do a little bit of contemplation. On one hand, I think they'll do some immediate fun things for themselves today. What kinds of things bring me joy? These will be healthy choices also. It's not going to be like, well, what bring me joy is to just, like super indulge in every, sugary snack until I feel queasy. That's probably not what they're going to do. They might treat themselves to some favorite sugary snack or something. And I'm not saying sugar is bad either, but anything in excess can tip us, back into something less healthy. So I'm just saying it's probably going to be healthy choices, some immediate joyful things today. I mean, anything from maybe our character is going to, whatever, buy themselves some inexpensive new comfy whatever. I've seen this baby in this little night dress or something. So maybe a nice, comfy, cozy new, Snuggie or something. I don't even know if they still sell those. But like a little treat for themselves. But as they start to contemplate what other joyous things do I want, it's interesting because they're probably going to say one of two things. Universe, give me the grab bag. I'm signing up for the mystery grab bag. I don't know what comes next. I want the universe to start to like pitch things into my court, and I want to be surprised, and I want to let the moon is the things that are hidden. It almost feels like our character is on the precipice of saying, I know I get to choose happier things and I'm super excited, but it's hard for me to decide what I want next in like the grand scheme of where I'm going in life next. So why don't I give it up to the universe and say, what do you think's in my greatest and highest good? Send it to me. I'm willing to receive. Or our character is actually going to find that they have to turn kind of deep inward, or maybe they even need to, like, if they don't know the answer yet to what they're trying to manifest, let some time pass and allow their subconscious to bring it to the surface. Now, you can do that in lots of different ways. There's one, and I'm not saying that this works, by the way, but I have heard this, and I think that these are kind of like fun, interesting, exercises. But writing with your non-dominant hand and just freestyle writing, like whatever comes out. So like, I'm a really strong righty. So by the way, if I'm trying to write with my left hand, I may as well use my foot because it is that bad. Plus my handwriting with my right hand is not much better. But if I were to write something, just whatever, automatic writing, whatever comes out, just start a flow of scribbles and then let words pop out as they come, and just figuring out. They say that the non-dominant hand represents the subconscious. So what does the left hand want to say? Like, for an example from me, maybe I won't be able to read it, but that's one way to maybe practice getting in touch with the subconscious. The other, or one of the other many thousands of ways, is to, kind of play that game of like the instant answer, laying out a series of questions and answering instantly with the first thing that pops into your mind. What do I want for dinner? Hamburgers or spaghetti? Spaghetti, and it's like, oh, okay, that's what my subconscious really wanted. And then, maybe narrowing it down to more specific questions, but, writing the questions out, leaving them, and then coming back, just, answering them, boom, 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 in a timed, just like you got 1 minute to answer 30 questions, first thing that comes out of your mouth. Maybe something along those lines. But for me, I don't know, it looks more like maybe around the full moon is when some of these subconscious messages will come to the surface. I'm a big fan of saying, if you don't know what the answer is yet, then just don't do anything until you get more information, because maybe a pathway hasn't opened yet. Maybe what you will want hasn't presented itself to you, and you don't want to be otherwise engaged with some path that you now chose. And then the thing that you're like, oh, damn it, I didn't know I could have had that. So there's a fine line between being impulsive or waiting too long, between, sitting and meditating on, and overthinking stuff, or, being patient. Like, I don't know what our character is going to need to choose for themselves, other than they obviously, anytime we get that Five of Wands, it's repetitious cycle thinking, trying to figure out, and that can sometimes put too much energy, too much tension, and it gets hard to know what we want if we overfocus. And I really think she's kind of in a more free-flowing energy. There's one other component of this, which is she has a sun and the moon. That's the masculine and feminine counterpart energies. Maybe she needs to be able to make a decision from both halves of herself, her masculine and her feminine. So we're talking about what she wants to manifest. And I always think there's two ways to manifest. You can either project what you want, which is the masculine. I want this, I direct it, I put this effort in, and I start the ball rolling. Or you can use the energy of the moon, which is a gravitational pull, and I bring it toward me. I bring it in. I, become like the attractive flower that, like the Venus flytrap that opens up with a delightful odor. And then when something comes that we want, we latch on. So we can do it in both of those ways. So which does she want to use? What path does she want? How does she want to attract? Whatever it is, it might be a combo, but I don't know if she has to pick one or the other. I don't know. To me, this looks pretty harmonious. We have got a Queen of Wands. Okay, good. And we got the Nine of Pentacles sideways. What I would say is the reason, look, this has been happening fast in this story, right? Let's backtrack for just a second before we talk about those two. She started out by still being in a healing energy, that then she gets over that final hermit's healing journey in the span of what went from 72 hours to 3 hours, or maybe a 30-minute cat nap, to being pretty bodacious and feeling like she's a warrior and feeling happy and feeling better, to saying, I'm going to do something awesome for myself and I can't wait for good stuff to come into my life. That's a lot for a character to go through. Like that's a ton of emotional shift to happen so quickly. And I do think that things can happen gradually, and then all of a sudden the culmination happens all at once. I would liken it to geological time moves really slow until it doesn't, right? It can be hundreds of years, thousands of years before a volcano erupts, and then one day it goes. So we can go from slow to sudden, all, in the span of just a minute. But that's disruptive. Anything really sudden is disruptive, and you need to catch your breath after the big explosion. Or let's say giving birth, right? You got your bun in your oven for 9 months, and then all of a sudden you give birth, and then it's exciting, it's elating, but then you're also really tired, and you got to have that, address the new normal, even though it's wonderful. So I think the reason she doesn't know exactly what she's manifesting or how instantly is because she needs to just adapt to being the Queen of Wands now. She has come into her own. She's got to accept that she's sexy, that she's powerful and sexy. And that really sounds sexy to say it that way. Sorry, sometimes I become Sean Connery. This is like her needing to be comfortable being, someone who chooses for herself, chooses well for herself, believes that she can have what she wants. And with the Nine of Pentacles sideways, she's not quite adapted to this new skin that she's in, to this new version of her life. She's ready for it for sure, but she's still got to get comfortable. The same way if you buy a brand new car, you're excited, but there's features that you got to, acclimate to. The way it handles, the way you shift gears, how you drive it, you'll adapt to it. But there's a little bit of a learning curve, even though it's awesome, even though it's such an upgrade, even though it's everything you wanted. So she's not ready to actually manifest, not today. Maybe tomorrow, maybe she'll adapt really, really, really fast. But for right now, she just needs to strut around like a Queen of Wands for a little bit, get adjusted into her new normal, which is I've been a warrior. I feel happy now. I feel like I overcame some really big stuff in my life. I feel really joyful. And I feel like maybe I want to practice asking myself, what do I want, this or that? And maybe she's going to start simple. Maybe she hasn't like just chosen what she wants in a really long time. So maybe she needs to get in the habit of being in charge of her yeses and her nos. And it might be, simple little stuff at first. You go into a store and you want to buy a certain item and they say, oh no, sorry, that's the last. You could do this one instead. We have this available. If she doesn't actually want it, then say no. I don't want to spend my money on the item that I didn't come in to buy. Thank you for that offer, but no, I think I'll hold out or I'll go find it someplace else because I really want what I wanted. I'm not going to take second best. Why should I? I'm not going to take what I don't want. I'm not going to lay down my hard-earned money for something I didn't try to buy. I'm about getting the things that I really want this time. I feel like maybe she has to practice that for a little bit. Now, this also could mean that she has to be able to decide when something is offered to her. Does she want it? A lot of things will want her. A lot of things will want her energy. That doesn't mean she wants it. And getting comfortable saying no, thank you, and rejecting stuff that we don't want is a really important task for her. So she might have a little bit of time where she's got to do that first before she even thinks about what she wants to manifest. Otherwise, she could manifest tons of stuff, 50% of which she's only going to be meh about. This is not time for her to just take a little bit of what she wants. This is time for her to pretty much, go big or go home, get the real deal, get what you really want so that you don't settle for less. And I know we can say, oh, well, then if you want perfection, you'll never, ever be happy. That's not what this is. It's not about perfection. It's about, I don't need things to be perfect, but I do need it to be, reasonable satisfaction so that I'm not settling. Because she doesn't need to settle. She's good, especially after the heartbreak she went through, especially after whatever happened to her. Now is not the time to start acquiescing and saying, okay, well, I'm better now, but I guess I still have to kind of like be downtrodden and just accept crumbs if that's what I'm going to get, or, just put up with getting a far less in life. No, not for this character, not at this point. 5 of Cups. What is the 5 of Cups? We have the Chariot. It is sideways. We have the Knight of Coins sideways, and we have the 2 of Wands upright. Okay, hang on. Queen of Wands, careful. Don't bother thinking about wasted time or roads not taken. From this point forward, she gets to make her own choices about where she goes next. There is some little bit of melancholy that pops up where she's like, damn, I wish that one particular option or opportunity had come toward me. I wish that something that I wanted had wanted me. This, I don't know. Look, it's hard to handle the fact that there will always be rejection in life. But all it means is that if that path isn't the one for me, if it's not choosing me, then no point in me choosing it. Let me choose a different direction. There is a little bit of practice that she's going to have to do. This is good for her to realize she always has a choice. In every situation, she'll always have the choice of how she's going to react. And if something isn't coming toward her, then she can choose a different path. She perhaps must choose a different path. But again, she still has choices in what to do next. Why are we seeing this? Why is there this one little message of caution? It almost feels like it's because we don't want her to slip back into any old patterns. We have the Star and we have the 7 of Wands. There is still one slim little lesson in here for her, which is she can get all excited about something she found that she did want, and it still may not want her, whether that's a lover, whether that's a job, whether it's, anything in life. But what she's maybe needs to understand is that when some door is not open to us, it forces us to look in another direction. And believe it or not, that could be where the divine intervention is coming in. She said, I kind of maybe want to let the universe help me decide what's in my greatest and highest good. She was on the fence about that. And I kind of think that the universe is going to be nudging her in the right way, because there will be some closed doors of stuff that she does want. As she's practicing her yeses and nos, there will be some stuff that she would like to say yes to that doesn't say yes to her. But as long as she can grasp a hold of, okay, maybe this is that moment where the universe is trying to nudge me toward what is in my greatest and highest good. Let me accept the fact that someone I thought was attractive didn't seem to be all that keen on me. All right, then let me move along. Let me not waste any time. Let me just go whatever new direction there is. I honestly think that her like rolling with that component of this story is also going to send her on the right path for herself, because the star is where real goals, real success is had. She is supposed to be way more successful than she is giving herself credit for. I almost think that although she was getting better about deciding yes and no and deciding how to reject something or say yes to something, the other side of that coin is, but even when we want something, we have to gracefully accept a rejection and trust that it's because we're supposed to move on. So it's interesting how she's getting all these lessons all jammed into this one little high packed, like, I feel like, when people eat the little like protein bars where it's like, 9,000 protein, grams of protein or something. I feel like that's what she's getting in this story. This is her learning how to go with the flow, and that is her going down the road of what's in her greatest and highest good. She, as long as she doesn't resist too much or say, no, I said I was going to make decisions for what I wanted. Yes, but still, we can't become tyrannical. She can't choose somebody that doesn't want to choose her. She should let him go as quick as possible and move on, because that's where she's going to meet the love of her life. That's where she's going to find the job of her dreams. That's where she's going to get things that really are worthy of her, instead of pining for something that doesn't want her and possibly starting a whole new cycle of hurt and pain all over again, of like a feeling of rejection. This is just like, shrug it off and keep going. Obviously, one door is closed, move on. Sometimes she slams doors closed and says, no, thanks. Other times, other doors will close on her. That's okay. Brush it off and keep going. You're supposed to go further and, higher. And if she rolls with that energy, she is going to end up with the best possible life, the best possible outcome. Can I get one last card? Finally, we'll change decks and just say one last card for whatever is a part of her ultimate outcome. We see the star, so we know it's going to be good. I can't see it. We have a Two of Swords. This is not me to tell the story of. This is blocked. She's the only one who will know what comes next, because it's very versatile. It's very much upon how she chooses to act or react. If she blocks messages from the universe, if she won't go with the flow, if she's not yet willing, then she's probably not going to reach her highest potential. It's when she has a little bit more, like in this case, a little bit of blind trust, and has the power to say, yes, I will go with whatever that flow is. Her outcome is like, it's hers whenever she unblocks concern or worry or lack mentality or frustration over, like, I thought everything was going to be good, how come it's not perfect yet? As long as she doesn't get into that cycle, I think she'll be fine. But this says we can't see her outcome because she's in the midst of it right now. She's in the thick of these, like, letting go, releasing stuff, but also being more decisive for herself, embracing the pathway that's ahead that seems to be unfurling for her. This is kind of a fun one. It definitely was a bit mysterious, but really, really nice flowing, really it's a big encouragement to, like, listen to the signs of the universe, but be an active participant as well. I guess that's the way I would say this. All right, you guys, good to see you. Sweet Carolina, somebody told me you were engaged. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know. That's what I saw in the, when I was live yesterday. That's what they told me. Well, I don't know. Maybe I got that wrong, or I still think there should be a cake involved. Okay, it was somebody else. Does anybody know who it was? No. Okay, so EM, so you said it. So you created a party for us, EM. I don't care. Let's still celebrate. Somebody out there is getting engaged, and I think any excuse to eat cake is a wonderful, wonderful time. Patricia Bocator. But did you see I said it, or did you see, oh, Celine is getting engaged? Oh, that's wonderful. EM, you gave the rumor its head. As far as rumors go, I think it's a pretty beautiful rumor to start. You know what? Everybody, let's put it this way: we're all engaged in something, right? We're engaged in life, so therefore we can have cake. that's that's all I keep hearing out of this entire story. It comes back around to there's a reason to eat cake. So, Denise, thank you again so much, sweetheart. Super Thought, April O'Neil, great to see you. Ah, Bodine, hey. Hi, Chamfer Sink. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Hey, Sassy Saggy. I hear you. Yeah. We're cut from the same cloth on that, huh? Hi, Letty. Cafe Dream, wonderful to see you again. Hi, Caitlin V. Or Caitlin, excuse me. Thank you, honey. Nope. I so appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you for reminding me, you guys. I so appreciate you giving it a thumbs up. It does help the channel to grow. If you enjoy the storytelling and, want to grab it, then please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe. Tammy Secord, hey. Astro, how are you, honey? Hi, Tyranny. Glad to see you twice today. Timothy Gorman, hey. Thanks again, AC. Shan L, great to see you. Hi, Roman. And cheers right to you, Timothy. John Schultz is in the house. Thank you for the bouquet, love. Catherine Hart, hey. Hey, Lalu. Nicole's in the house. And Teresa, great to catch you. Hey, Stargaze. Black Butterfly 25. Ray 2, hey. How are you, love? Thank you for being here. Carrie Wilson, hi, honey. Hi, the Alchemist. You have been summoned. It's like, what do they say in Avengers? Avengers assemble. Zoe, great to catch you. Hi, Caroline. All right, you guys, have a beautiful day. I'm still going to post one more right now, and then I'll see you guys later on this evening, okay, for Zodiacs. I know we're behind, but I'll try to get us caught up. Oh, Sassy Saggy, you are so wonderful. Thank you. Maybe it'll be hours before I could possibly edit his bark anyway, but maybe what I'll do is just put a little note in the title so people won't be surprised by it. Hi, Melly. You guys, thank you. EM, you're such a doll. Thank you so much. All right, you guys, take care. I'll see you again in just a bit. Bye.